Hey everybody, this is Lorelia coming to you on this great, beautiful day. It is a Saturday. The weather is nice here in the Northeast, and I'm coming to you with a different type of message than what I normally talk about. On this channel, I normally talk about credit, have over 400 plus videos, a 500,000 views. But I want to talk about something different, and that is the topic of capitalism. And so when you say the word capitalism, you're either going to get either two type of feelings. You're either going to get a feeling of pain, or you're going to get a feeling of relief or happiness or anything that is good. And why would you say that, Lorelia? I've been told all my life that capitalism is bad. And don't get me wrong. I mean, yes, there are periods in history where it can be proven that capitalism was a bad thing. And it really depends how you want to look at the situation. That's why I said when you hear the word capitalism, you're going to get two type of feelings: either the feeling of pain or pleasure. But why am I talking about this topic? Well, and why did I say that understanding capitalism will give you relief of financial hardship? The other day, I was talking to my son, who recently just turned 13 years old, and we were talking about his taekwondo teacher, and who is from Korea and now lives here in the US. And he asked me a very curious question. And the question was, Mom, why is it that everyone is dying to move to America? Why so many people outside the country want to come to America? What makes this country so great? This is his question. This is the way he's observing the world at 13 years old. And I said, well, the reason why so many people want to come to America is because America is a place of opportunity. America is a place, unlike other countries, where you can chart your course financially. You have the ability to either struggle financially, or you have the ability to thrive financially. And I know those two things that I just said would make some people feel really uneasy, and they would probably give me 100 rebuttals on why that is not true. But understand, it's all in what you're exposed to. I also explained to my son that I said, let's look at earlier this week. Earlier this week, my son went to a homeschool children marketplace. What is that? That's a place where children sell different items to other children, and of course their parents are buying, and they make money. My son went there with no money. I even said to him, I said, you're not going to take any money from home, so just in case you need to, give someone some change, no, that's all right, I'm okay. Well, lo and behold, at the end of the day, he made $25. Now, I know $25 may not be a lot of money to a lot of adults, but you best to believe there's some adults who don't even have $25 to their name. But the what I showed him, and what he's already known, because this is things that I've been teaching him and exposing to him ever since he was 7 years old. Teaching him where money comes from, how money is created. He has only been exposed to that. If you want something in life, when it comes to income, money, or what have you, you go to the marketplace and you tell the marketplace what you're worth, and you put your goods out there. And I made that analogy to him in regards to America. You see, there are people outside of this country who understands the economics and the financial structure of this company. Of this country. And they know how to either tap into it, whether they're overseas, or either make it their business to move here move here to monetize financially from this system of, what is capitalism. Let me give you an example. Currently, right now, I have about 3 overseas contractors looking to bring another one on this week that works in my business. None of those people live in this country. Now, like I said, it's probably going to make a lot of people feel uneasy, unhappy, because they're going to feel like, oh, well, those jobs can go to Americans. But can I tell you, 2 out of those 3 people reached out to me. I didn't have to go seek them, and it just so happened timing was on point, because what I needed from them, it just so happened that when they reached out to me, I needed it. And so I said, hey, I do need this service. I just had someone who reached out to me by email yesterday. I don't need that service. Now, I don't say all that to brag. I say all that to explain to you that here you have people who don't even live in this country, who understands how economics and finance work in this country, and they're capitalizing on it. But yet and still, you have Americans who do not understand that. They do not understand the difference between being a consumer and being a producer. And that is understandable, because if you lived in this country and you went to school for at least 13 years, from kindergarten to 12th grade, all you've probably been taught, if your knowledge came from the institutional schooling system here in the U.S., is to be a consumer. You have been told that being a producer is a bad thing. That is why most people just consume. And then they wonder why they are in the situation that they're in. And this is not to make a mockery of people, but it's just so people can understand. Hey, how you doing, them sway? Because it even relates to credit. How are you not using your credit to leverage, to be able to create assets that can produce you more money? But most people just want better credit to consume. They want to be able to charge the trip to Disney. They want to be able to buy, a trinket. It's never, let me buy this so this can produce me more money. Very few people are thinking like that. Very few people. And that's why, it saddens me when I don't understand why people would rather suffer and sit around here with bad credit. Okay, and Jasmine says the right is the wrong mindset, and that is part of it. It is part of it. And that's why I truly believe that some people do need an awakening, because you do not know what you don't know. And I was so proud of my children, because I had 2 kids who were there at that marketplace, and like I said, went there with no money. One made $25, the other made $11, went there with nothing. And that's to show you that anyone who has lived in this country, that has the fortitude and the right mindset to make it happen, can go to the marketplace and make money. and make money. Like, there's no reason for you to struggle financially. But I know what it is. Some people are not exposed to certain things. They do not know that they can leverage their credit to purchase assets or to create assets that can produce them, more money. They almost look at credit as being the boogeyman. Like, ooh, don't want to use my credit. And don't get me wrong, for some people, depending on their financial maturity, there are some people who may not need to use their credit. They probably are not really at that place yet. But I can't stress to you enough to understand. Like, I'm like, wow, here I am paying 3 offshore overseas contractors where the US dollar, whether you want to call it a fiat currency, is not worth anything. Well, you know what? Tell that to the overseas person in the Philippines. Tell that to the overseas person in Bangladesh. Tell that to the overseas person in India. They'll take that US dollar with no problem. And then you got Americans who are walking around here talking about the US dollar ain't worth nothing. I totally get it. I understand about the whole, backed by debt, fiat currency, the US dollar is not a currency. But at the end of the day, when them children of yours, if you have children, are hungry, what you going to use? You're going to use that fiat currency. When the landlord is knocking on your door telling you better pay your rent, what you going to pay him with? That fiat currency. So don't let people, have you into believing that struggling is okay. That just getting by is okay. It's too much information out there, whether you're getting it from me or getting it from somebody else. It's too abundant. It's too abundant out there. And that's why, I tell people, you get your credit right, you got a good credit score, the world can be yours. Sky's the limit. But you would rather listen to your financially struggling auntie, uncle, mama, father, grandpa, cousins, or what have you. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But it's good to see that people are taking advantage. I still am providing a 15-minute consultation for those who are looking for business funding and want to see, are they a candidate. One thing that I can rest assured tell you, and I've said in other videos, there's no tricks to it. You do have to have a favorable credit score. But if you don't, let's talk. But just want to let you know, you got to have something going for you. You can't not have a business not generating any money and low credit scores, and you're looking for somebody to fund you $50,000 or $30,000. Like that just can't be the mindset. But let's talk. The links will be below this video. Cashflow.yourmoneymentor.com. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that understanding capitalism probably would help you financially? Because we're going into the season now of a lot of consumerism. Once October comes, the holidays will be here as soon as you know it. They're already pushing Halloween stuff now. Then when Halloween come, or probably mid-October, they'll be pushing Thanksgiving down your throat. And we already know now Christmas is being celebrated on Thanksgiving. So whether you do the holidays or not, you're still being pushed in consumerism. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. My links will be below this video in terms of business funding, getting your personal credit right, and look forward to talking to you next video. Okay, bye-bye.